I did put the link for part one of this presentation in the chat, so you can view that if you missed it, or if you just want a refresher, or if you want to just, you can't get enough of Dr. C and you want to see her face. You can watch the recording there. And then obviously, of course, this one will also be recorded and shared online as well. I think it's wonderful topic. And I think it's one that we don't prioritize as often as we should. And it can make a world of difference how what we put in our bodies affects the output in our space, and our mood, our mental health, all that good stuff. Good morning, Mr. Gibbs. Looking very dapper and red today.
I know, right? Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. How you all?
Doing
Right.
well. How's the weather down
Good.
there where you are?
We in for a little rain today, but it's about 63 degrees, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm originally from Ohio. And so we have winter, we have spring, we have summer, we have fall. And so I know when it starts to get cold, I can put up my summer stuff, and when it starts to get warm, I can put my winter stuff. But Alabama likes to trick me and say, well, it's winter, but it's 70 outside. So don't put your hoodies away, keep them out all year round. We never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll take the potpourri of weather over the consistent cold any day. So keeps me on my toes. All right. Good morning, Vanessa. Let's see. All right. So we'll start here in just a few minutes. I want to be respectful of everybody's time and start at 10 o'clock. But also know there are several registrants for this course today. And so I want to make sure the people who are going to participate can have a chance to get in before we start. So just a few minutes. And again, if you missed my preamble before, please put your email in the chat so that we can send you your post survey. And this is also an education opportunity, education stipend opportunity for this month. So please be on the lookout for that survey so we can get you signed up for that stipend, that $25 for participating today.
Good deal. Jenny, do you have the presentation from last time?
I do not have it in my computer,
I
but
have it. I have it. Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't finish, and I was going to, my plan is to recap from last time.
Okay.
And then finish up and then add some information on how they can make changes as it relates to the nutrition and how it will impact. So we're good.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And for those of you just joining, if you did miss the first portion of this presentation, I did put the link of the recording in the chat, so you can revisit that at your leisure. Really wonderful information. And I'm so appreciative of you, Dr. C, for coming back and joining us for part two.
Yes.
Most of the people that gave me feedback were very excited to hear more of what you had to say. So I appreciate you and your time. I know it's valuable.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Of course. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Angela. Hope you're all well this morning. All right. Well, we are right on time at 10 o'clock. So I will go ahead and begin. I'm so thankful for everyone who's joined us today.
Yes.
Like I was saying before, I think Dr. C and I are on the same page when it comes to fueling our bodies with healthy things so that we can be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Healthy eating isn't just about the scale victories. I think it's more about the cognitive victories, the cardiovascular victories, just our strength as we move into, you know, the years are just going to keep coming, guys. You know, we're just going to keep growing and getting older. And so it's very important that we are fueling those years so that we can have as many as we possibly can, as healthy as we possibly can. So I'll go ahead and introduce our speaker today, Dr. Angela C. She is the founder of D3 Health and Fitness, LLC. She teaches to elevate the mind, transform the body, and feed the soul. We need more of that, definitely. She's a published author and has served on several wellness advisory boards and serves in ministry to reach her audience. With more than 30 years of experience cultivating an environment for healthy living and healthy community, this is Dr. Angela's goal. So prior to launching D3 Health and Fitness, Angela served in the field of K-12 for 18 years as a primary, upper elementary, and middle school educator, administrator, curriculum specialist, ESL coordinator, testing coordinator, dropout prevention specialist, education specialist, Head Start director, parent liaison, and community engagement specialist. As an educator, Dr. C has established and maintained health and wellness programs for teachers, students, parents, and the communities at large to help individuals understand and embrace the fact that health is wealth. Amen. D3 Fitness Health Fitness mission is to serve and educate people on how to live healthier and happier lives. And they are D3 is dedicated to improving their health, fitness, and wellness status one step at a time. So if anybody knows what they're talking about today, it is Dr. Angela C. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your wealth of knowledge and your compassion for this population of caregivers who are typically the last on the list when it comes to taking care of themselves. And so I appreciate that. And I hope everyone is going to take notes, ask questions, and I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Dr. C. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning again, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you for taking time to visit with us today. And hopefully we'll share some information that will be beneficial to and for you as relates to nutrition and wellness. The last time we talked about the different, excuse me, things that we eat that are processed foods and fast foods and things that the body cannot digest. And we will continue to eat those things and then ignore them, ignore what I call the warning signs. For example, if you eat something that your body cannot digest, it doesn't work well with your body, it will say that didn't agree with me, and it'll either your stomach will hurt, your head will hurt, something will happen, and then you will take something over the counter, or you may call your doctor and say, hey, this is happening, will you write me a prescription, or whatever the case may be. And that's a sign that your body is telling you that that is something that it cannot process. But if you continue to eat those things and digest those things, then it sends a message to your body that it is okay. It's not a foreign object. And then it takes on ownership and get a blood supply. And that's how things start growing in our bodies. Eating sugary things that have a high sugar content affects our mental capacity, mental well-being. It causes anxiety, stress issues, and all of those things has a domino effect of causing other issues in the body, right? So those are things that we talked about the last time, and we went through the PowerPoint. Well, not all of it, only about halfway, because it was so much information, and I only left a few minutes had a few minutes at the end for you all to ask your questions. So I want to do it a little bit differently today. Share the information with you, and you can unmute yourselves or type in the chat as Jenny has entered if you have any questions, and she's going to monitor the chat so that she will let me know your questions. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen. All right. Okay. We talked about the connection between nutrition and mental health the last time, and how the research says that nutrition plays a certain role, a crucial role in the support of brain health and psychological well-being. So you want to make sure that you're eating the right things, you're eating the right foods, because it's a pivotal role in what you eat, and it relates to brain function, mood regulation, inflammation, gut and brain axis, energy level, cognition and concentration, prevention and management of mental disorders. We're going to talk about the holistic approach, support, resilience, and a good quality of life. So nutrients for mental well-being, you want to make sure that you get the omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B, vitamin D, antioxidants, and amino acids. And these are the things I'm going to tell you what foods have these different nutrients in them, so that you want to make sure that you get them and get a great supply of them, because the omega-3 fatty acids support brain structure and function. Those are our walnuts and fish and things of that nature. The vitamin D aids in neurotransmitter production. Those are our nervous system, brain stems, and things of that nature. Help the dendrites regenerate themselves. Vitamin D regulates the mood. And we want to make sure that we keep our moods. We don't want to be overstressed. We don't want to be overwhelmed. Anxiety kicks in and all of that. Inflammation and mental health. Now, I'm not sure if you all can see the screen, but there are foods that accelerate inflammation. Those are the processed foods like pizzas, donuts, hamburgers, ketchup, fries, popcorn, potato chips, breads, things of that nature. They are high in sugar. And sometimes it is hidden sugar that you don't know is there. But it's there. For an example, and I have an image that I normally show when I do in person. I have the actual content. When you buy ketchup it doesn't taste sweet, but it had half of the amount of the product is sugar. It's a hidden sugar that you don't know is there, and it has an effect on your body. And if you have any kind of joint issues or any kind of inflammation anywhere, it contributes to it 10 times more. And that's just one example of the hidden sugars that you don't even think about. And I'm not sure, I have to look at the label again. I'm not sure how it is laid on the label, written on the label, but that will be a presentation for another time to actually talk with you all about reading the labels when you purchase different things, and how you can look at the different nutritional components to gauge whether or not you should buy it, and or to minimize the usage until you can replace it with something else. And the foods that are anti-inflammatory are the salmon, which is the fatty acids, omega-3, all the greens. Brussels sprouts are my favorite. And you can really, I don't know if you all have the air fryer, but I mentioned the air fryer the last time, that you can use it for your fruit and vegetables, even your meats if you eat meat. I'm not a meat eater. I'm vegan, but I don't judge. You have to do what works best for you. But I do want to let you know, because I am the messenger. My name is Angela. And I have to give you the message that our bodies are not designed for meat. Our teeth are not designed to break down meat. And do know that when you eat beef, the average size person, an average now is 5'5" and maybe 145 pounds. It takes the body 2 weeks to digest it. So it's just sitting in your stomach for that long because your body cannot digest it, and it works and works and works and works. But yeah, so think about that and kind of scale back as much as you can and replace it with fruit and vegetables, grains, and different things of that nature. You want berries, the fish, and the leafy greens. There are several different kinds of greens, and you can have them raw. You can steam them just a little bit. You can pan fry with olive oil. Grapeseed oil is good for the body. And it's really good. Just experiment with the different seasonings that you like, and try it. Just experiment, and you'll see the difference. The different kinds of green vegetables, the different kinds of bell peppers. And I think that I mentioned this the last time. I'm not sure, but when you especially now, it's the winter season, and we sometimes like soups and chili and stuff like that because it goes with the weather, right? So when you're in the grocery store looking for an example, the bell peppers, you can get them yellow, green, or red. So, and when you look at the bottom, if it has 4 humps, that means it's sweet. You can eat it raw. You can use it for salads and different things like that. The 3 humps is more savory. You can use it in your soups and baking dishes and things of that nature. So that's just a tidbit to kind of help you as you experiment with different dishes, how you can get select your vegetables for the kind of taste that you want. Sugar and mood swings. When you intake sugar, your mood swings, I mean, it changes like in a flash. You can be in good spirits, and then all of a sudden you can be exhausted like you have ran a marathon. And that's what sugar does to the body. And you all are caregivers, and you are responsible for yourselves and for other people. And you want to make sure that you're in optimal health and have good energy when you need to do what you need to do for yourself. And that's another presentation for another day. The self-care component that you want to make sure that you do, because you're depending on you and other people are depending on you. So you have to make sure that you take care of yourself so that you can be the best version. Oops, I was going too fast. All right. The blood sugar spikes and crashes when you have too much sugar or too much processed sugar. And when I mean about processed sugar, it is in the foods that you eat that it don't have to necessarily be sweet. For instance, you get bread, and bread is not sweet, but it has a high content of sugar and starch. So it's a combination of sugar that's in a different form. So when you see the carbs and something, and you see another line that says sugar, it's look at it as 2 sources of sugar that your body cannot process, or it will have a negative effect on your body, not just your mood. And you know, when your blood sugar spikes and crashes, it affects your organs. It affects your mobility. It affects your brain capacity. And we need to think. We need to be able to function properly for ourselves, so that we can stay in charge of being active and mobilizing and taking care of ourselves so that we can do the things that we want and need to do. Hydration and cognitive function, we talked about that you want to keep yourself hydrated. And a rule of thumb is being that the body is composed of about 75% water, we want to make sure that we keep it replenished at all costs, because our bodies expel water just from breathing. It expels water just from talking. So just think that if you're moving, breathing, and talking, your body's expelling water 3 times, and that if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 or 20. So you want to make sure that you constantly replenish your water. And if you're not big on drinking water, just try to add fruit to it. You can add vegetables, cucumber, you can add mint leaves to give it a different flavor. And it still works well with the body. You can add lemon. Sometimes, especially now, I add cinnamon sticks and apple slices to my water, and it's really good. It's really good. I slice them really thin and put a cinnamon stick in there. And I also have a list of different things that you all can do, and some links to some products that you can order from Amazon. I didn't have them the last time, but I got them ready, and I'll send them to Jenny so that you all can take a look at them if you want. For example, I talked about the filtered water pitcher that will save you from purchasing bottled water, because even with bottled water, sometimes it's water from the faucet with a cap on it. So you want to make sure that the water is clean, and it'll save you some money by filtering your water. I boil mine, and I use the filter pitcher, and it really works. I put it in my bottles and keep going. So are there any questions so far? You all can unmute yourselves if you want to speak, or you can type in the chat. That means no questions?
Morning. I have one question.
Okay.
Repeat that about the humps on the bell peppers, please.
Yes, of course. When you're for salads and raw, anything that you're making raw, you want 4 humps on the bell peppers.
Okay.
And with the soups you want that you make savory, it's the 3 humps.
Okay.
Yep.
Never knew that.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. It makes a difference in how your food tastes when you make them. Yeah, and you want the kind of sweet taste when you're making fresh salads or something that is raw, because it'll make you say never mind if it's not. It's like, no, that was a little bit bitter or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yes, it'll, but the bell peppers are really good for you, and they have a high water content. So it'll help you keep your water, as well as the leafy greens. Cucumbers are high in water content also. And we'll talk about that as well. Thank you for your question, Shirley. Yes. All right. And I think this is where we left off last time with the mindful eating. And the mindful eating reduces stress. It enhances the enjoyment of eating. It improves digestion. You will have better portion control. It'll heighten your satisfaction, reduce emotional eating. It'll help you stay connected with the present moment. You will have a mind and body connection, and you can develop a positive ritual. And we'll talk about those things. And when you're mindful eating, you eat with intention. And when I say that, the time that you eat makes a difference. You want to make sure that you're focused on what you're eating, when you're eating. in a rule of thumb, I suggest to people, if you're eating, don't eat while you're watching TV, because you will eat more than you normally would, because you're not focused on how much you're eating or what you're eating. You're focused on whatever's happening on TV, right? But if you have some nice, relaxing music going, or even some upbeat music, not too upbeat, because if you're like me, I'm a dancer, I like to move. I'll get into the groove of the music, and I'll stop eating and start moving and dancing, and then start doing something else. So I'll try to have some relaxing kind of jazz music or something going on like that. Or if you are sharing a meal with someone, then in your conversation, talk about what you're eating and different things that you're doing as relates to self-care, taking care of your body, and the changes that you will gradually make. And then you'll feel so much better, and you'll see the progress and how your mind and body react to food differently than having things that are processed. Food and mental disorders, when you eat the processed foods and all things, it causes depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and ADHD. So what we eat has a major impact on our bodies and how we function and function properly. And we want to make sure that our mental capacity is where we want it to be, so that we can do what we're supposed to do. We want to be able to have intelligent conversations. We want to be able to take notes, and we want to be able to drive ourselves and shop and do the things that we want and need to do. Some practical tips for a healthy diet. The research says to start with breakfast. I don't always eat a full breakfast meal. It all depends on you, your lifestyle, and what you have going on. But if you're a breakfast person, then continue to have breakfast, but have a different variety of things that works well with the body, less processed as possible. But you can start with a good breakfast. If you don't eat fish or don't eat a lot of it, start including more fish in your diet. For snacks, have nuts and seeds, and that's normally what I'll do. I'll have nuts, grains, or seeds. I'll have my tea and things of that nature in the mornings. And because I do intermittent fasting, and it works with the body, and you can do the same thing. I do 18 and 6 or 20 and 4. So and that works for me because I'm really active and on the go all the time. And when I do eat, I eat nuts and grains and greens and stuff like that. My protein comes from beans and nuts because I don't eat meat. But you eat lean proteins, leafy greens, have berries for snacks, have different colors of vegetables. And it's okay to have vegetables in the morning, and they don't always have to be cooked. Just wash them really good. And I think the last time I talked about how you can wash your fruit and vegetables and make your own solution without buying it. You can just buy the ingredients. Just have some white vinegar, a little bit of baking soda, and water. Put them in there, swish them around with your hands, and rinse them, strain them, and you're good to go. You will see that all the extra that's in there, sometimes they're small parasites that the naked eye cannot see. And there's different things that are in there. So you can wash them, and it doesn't take long, and it doesn't cost much of anything. to do so, but make sure that you wash them really good. You want to add avocado. I try to make sure that I have, I either cook with something with avocado oil, I'll put it in my smoothie, or I'll eat an avocado every single day. And avocado is good for brain health as well. I'm not big on chocolate, but dark chocolate is really good for the body, and always keeping yourselves hydrated. You want to make sure that you keep yourself hydrated. So drink plenty of water. And if you have coffee, drink you some water before you have coffee, because coffee dehydrates you. So I don't want to tell you that you need to stop drinking it, because if you drink it, you enjoy it. Don't deprive yourself of it. Just drink 8 ounces of water before you have it, and drink 8 ounces after you have it.
Dr. C, we have a few questions in the chat. Is it okay for me to go ahead and ask you those now?
Yes.
Okay, so one is actually about coffee. Angela would like to know, what effects does caffeine have on your mood? For example, espresso, does it give you a high?
Yes, it does. And it affects your mood. One, caffeine dehydrates the body. And if your body is dehydrated, your brain cannot function properly. Your organs work overtime, and you cannot function properly because you are dehydrated. It affects your mood because you have the highs and lows. Sometimes when you drink coffee, you're on 10, and then instantly you can drop down to 0. You don't want to be bothered. Don't call my name. Don't ask me any questions. And when you're dealing with people, and sometimes the least little thing that anybody will say to you, even your children, you will just lose it, almost out of control, that you will say something that you really don't want to say to them because you're edgy, because of the caffeine. So, and that's why I say, if you drink coffee, kind of gradually wean yourself off of it, but you have to replace it with something, because otherwise you will revert back, and you can't do it instantly because your body will go into shock if you've been used to drinking coffee, and has been your way of life for however long it's been, even if it's only been a week. You have to gradually. So if you do 1 cup a day, then start doing half a cup. Or if you do 3 cups a day, break it down to do 2 cups, and do 2 cups for 10 days or 21 days, or whatever the case may be, and increase your water intake, and then gradually make the change like that. And when you have caffeine in the body, yes, if you have 1 cup of coffee, that caffeine affects your body for 24 hours. So just think, if you have 1 cup every single day, it has a domino compounding effect on your body. Every 24 hours, it compounds. So just think about that, and the damage that it's doing to your body, and as a whole.
Now, I would also like to, what was that?
Somebody,
Yeah, I'm thinking we will.
Okay. And also too, Dr. C, it's not just the coffee, I'm sure, because a lot of people, including myself, we like to use the creamers and the sugars and all that. So it's an additional dynamite in your cup, right?
yes, it has more than the domino effect when you add the sugar and the creamers, because the creamers, once again, has the hidden sugar, and you're combining. So think about the effect that it has when you have the hidden sugars and the creamers, and you add sugar, and it's a processed sugar, and then you have the caffeine. It impacts the body like you have no idea, as it relates to your organs, and making them work overtime and dehydrating the body. So just think about your nervous system slowly being paralyzed when you drink the cups of coffee every single day, you have the processed foods, the processed sugars, and all of that. Just think about it. Your nervous system and your organs shutting down inch by inch every time you do that.
And we do have another question quickly about fish. Vanessa would like to know, does it have to be grilled or baked? And does Captain D's fried fish count?
No. Captain D's fried fish does not count. But you can have fried fish. You can have it. But this is what you can do with your fried fish, because it's a process. It's best for you if it's grilled, baked, or pan seared. But you can have it fried. You want to use yellow meal. Frying it yourself is the best. It's the better option. Grill, fry, or baked are the best options. But the better option, if you're going to have it fried, fry it yourself. Use yellow meal and use peanut oil. Does that make sense?
What's with the yellow meal?
The yellow meal is less processed, because the corn, the meal for the corn that they use is normally yellow. And when you look at the meals, when you go to the store, feel it in the bag. Or if you buy meal now, for instance, the meal, I used to make cornbread. So the white meal is finer. It's more processed than the yellow. The yellow is more coarse, and it's less processed, and it's more a natural state. And it has less chemicals in it. So use the yellow meal and fry it yourself, and kind of gradually. So if you have, I don't know about you all, but for me, when I grew up, Friday fish was the thing. Friday fish, fries, coleslaw, and tea, and a dessert was every Friday, hands down. But during my journey of transitioning to plant-based diet, I made those gradual changes and replaced. I used to fry chicken for my family. They called me the 31 flavors. But I transitioned, and I helped them to transition. I still made it for them, and I still cooked it for them. But this is a transition that we made. I used to use bleached flour, and I used to use vegetable oil. And I would dip in the egg wash. I would double dip. That's what would make it taste so good, because it was extra crunchy. So I transitioned from the bleached flour to wheat flour, but I would still do the egg wash, and it was still good. Nobody knew the difference. Then I transitioned. I still made it for them, and I transitioned to Smart Balance. I didn't do vegetable oil. I transitioned to Smart Balance cooking oil. And then I transitioned from, I kept the wheat flour, but I used almond milk to dip it. And it was still nice and crunchy. They still requested it every time we got together. Everybody was still good. Then I transitioned to no flour and putting them in the air fryer and still making them nice and crispy. And it's like, it's different, but it tastes good. And it really worked that way. So that's what I mean when I say you have to work it in increments and make the transition, and take small steps. Not that you have to go plant-based, because I do, but when you're making the transition from anything, you have to do it in increments. Otherwise, you will revert back to the previous lifestyle. And you don't want to revert back, because the setback is worse than the onset. Because once you eat whatever you eat, and you may gain weight and things of that nature, but then when you change or make a drastic change, your body goes into shock and you feel like you are depriving yourself, and then you'll revert back and you will eat twice as much. For an example, if you decide, okay, I'm not going to eat donuts. If donuts is something that's really that you like, and you have a donut for breakfast, or it's your mid snack, well, I need a donut or something sweet. You decide, okay, I'm not going to do it. And your body is going to feel like you are depriving yourself, and you may go a week. Okay, I didn't have a donut this week. It's like, whoo, I really want that donut. And then you're going to go and buy it. You'll buy them, but you'll eat 4 before you stop eating, before you stop. And typically you wouldn't eat 4, but your body and your mind is deprived of it because you quit it instantly. It's almost like I've got to have it. And your body is craving it because you fed it for so long, and then all of a sudden you want to stop. Does that make sense? So what any kind of changes that you're making, you want to make sure that you do them gradually. Do one thing at a time, and your success rate will be really good. And I've been doing this for quite some time, and I've been on the journey myself. Several years ago, I lost my mom, and I was really depressed, and I didn't know that I was depressed. I don't know if any of you have seen me in person. I'm only 4'11". I mean, I'm 1 inch from being a midget, right? So during that time, and my siblings and I were caregivers for her, but I was the main person because I worked remote. So I gained weight, taking care of her, driving back and forth and then when we lost her, it was like I was just in a spiral down mode. And I gained probably about 70 something pounds. So can you imagine me, 4'11", barely nipping 4'11" at 180? No. It's been 7 years, and I've never been really big or thick or anything like that. But I was like, oh my stars, what is it? But making the changes, and it's been 7 years, almost 8 years, and I've kept the weight off. I'm between 102 and 107 is my weight. But you want to make sure that you're consistent with what you do. And that's what has worked for me, and making those gradual changes, because I know how it will affect the body. And when you don't plan properly for your meals or snacks, you will get whatever's available. And normally the quick things that are available to us are not good for us. We'll stop by, well, I'll just stop by the fast food restaurant right quick, get me something because I need to go and do this. I need to make sure I get that done. I didn't have time to cook. I didn't have time to do the things that you need to do. But just like we schedule everything else, schedule some time to meal prep and do just a couple of days. I only meal prep for me. Now it's just me. So I will on Sunday afternoons, I will meal prep for a couple of days. And then on Wednesday nights, I will meal prep for a couple of days. And it really works. Like if you want to have snacks, I make my own trail mix. Every now and then I will buy it already mixed for me, but I make sure that my nuts are raw. And you can buy it, you can make your own also. And you can eat them raw. Your body will process them much easier. But if you want them baked, you can bake them yourself. And it's better that way because you can control the salt. Because when you buy them already roasted, the salt content, I mean, you can't get it off like at all. So you buy them raw in the bacon section. You can put a little bit of avocado oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil on them. Put any kind of seasoning you want. If you like Italian seasoning, I experiment. Sometimes I'll put Greek seasoning, I'll mix Italian seasoning, I'll mix Mediterranean, just to experiment to see what it tastes like. And it's really good. And it's nice and wholesome. It'll help your taste buds expand as well. But try a little bit at a time. And you'll see that it'll really make a big difference in your mood, your health, and everything. So as we, kind of wrap up, think about your nutrition, what you eat, and the one thing that you can change. Just start thinking about that right now. And I want you all to share with me one thing that you have gleaned from this presentation, and one thing that you're going to change or try to improve your nutritional status. Because what we eat, what we think, what we do is us. So we want to make sure that we do the right thing about us so that we can be the example that we want to see for the people around us. And that's my goal. I like to practice what I preach. I don't want to try to tell you to do something that I'm not disciplined enough to do myself. Good.
Well, I can go first, Dr. Angela, because I believe that I drink way more coffee than I should.
Okay.
Being a full-time parent for 15 years of 5 children and homeschooling and completing college courses really ramped up my caffeine addiction. And just hearing you talk about the long-term effects and how it compounds. I knew coffee was one of those things where, you don't want to drink it all day long. But I've found I've kind of creeped into that realm. And so I'm definitely going to start cutting back. And I do appreciate what you said about encouraging us to do it incrementally, because the last thing we want to do is discourage ourselves with setbacks.
Yes.
We have to be real with ourselves. We're human beings. We're not robots that just, you clear the program and input another one. So that's what my takeaway is.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing. I really appreciate you. And yes, you will do well. And also remember that as you change, gradually make the change from drinking as much coffee, replace it with something, because if not, you'll revert back to your coffee levels. So, and I know that, and sometimes it's hard to get the amount of sleep and the work that you need to do when you're taking care of everything and everybody, and then you have to put out fires and one thing after the other. There are some things you can't control, and there are some things that you can. And I can also share with you that when you're working, or that you have something to do, and you think about, okay, I probably need me a cup of coffee. Practice the 4-count breathing. You breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, relax for 4, and then wait. And do that 4 or 5 times. It'll help give you some clarity, it'll relax you, and it'll help you, kind of focus on what you're doing and where you need to go.
I do also have a comment in the chat and a question from Crystal.
Okay.
The comment, she says, I'm going to start using less vegetable oil and try to experiment more with tricking my kids into eating more vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And her question is, what are options for feeding healthier meals for a picky eating family of 4 on a very fixed budget?
Okay. Look, I shop at Kroger, and I go to the markdown section. So I go on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the days that they do the markdowns. And I go there first. And Kroger always have the fruit and vegetables in the little red bags that look like the fruit bags. I know oranges used to come in them. I can't remember what else, but they are mesh bags. They have fruit and vegetables in that section. As soon as you walk in Kroger, if you go straight ahead, so you guys know, I know what I'm talking about. I can tell you what to look for when you walk through the door. When you go into Kroger, especially the Kroger on Wall Triana that's right behind Publix. As soon as you walk into the door, if you walk straight ahead, the container there, or the stand with the mesh bags, that's where you will find the packaged fruit and vegetables, and it's always 99 cents. Sometimes, I mean, just look at it and get it, and it's really good. I buy it all the time. And then I turn left to go to the fresh produce, and I'll get in the bag produce. Sometimes the salad is pre-packed for you. I'll get it, and they have it marked down. They have spinach in that plastic container. It is marked down on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So you can get that. You want to make sure that you experiment with the different types of dressing and not put too much on it. And you can just the things that they like to eat, just give them a little bit. If it's something that is not really healthy for them, just do a little bit and try to exchange. When I work with the Head Start, that's kind of what we did to kind of help them, and then have the different training sessions on this is how you can replace certain things and get the children involved, make it like a family affair. One of the things that I have in publication right now is a 30-day activity family affair with eating healthy and having a healthy lifestyle as a family. And it makes it much, much easier.
And Crystal, I'll give you a tip from my experience with younger ones, smoothies. If I put a bunch of fruit in a smoothie and hand it to my little one and tell them it's a milkshake, they'll drink it.
Yes.
And so Vanessa says, wow, no more Captain D's, but I will think twice before I put food in my mouth. Thanks for opening my eyes for myself. And I think that rings true for a lot of us. Sometimes it's, we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right.
And once you know, it's a lot easier to make better choices. And I feel you on that one, Vanessa, because I love me some fried fish. But yeah, you got to switch to the air fryer. My cholesterol is too high.
Yes. Yes. Well, and Jenny, I'm going to send you the list, and it has an explanation of the different products and teas that will help you reduce the cholesterol, and if you have digestive issues, and I'll send that out, and you can email it out to the group also. And I do want to ask if you all use social media, to follow me at D3 Health Fitness, D3 Health and Fitness on Facebook, and D3 Health Fitness on Instagram. I really would appreciate it if you would leave a review about information that we share, and give us some feedback also. So that other people, when they look, they can see that we are providing information that is beneficial, and we are genuinely concerned about the health and wellness of our community, and so that we can enhance the vitality, because we need everybody to eat healthy, take care of ourselves, and teach the people who are in our circle to do the same thing. Because our children, we're going to need our children to keep the community vital. And if they learn now to take care of themselves, then they'll be able to teach their friends and other people to do the same. So it's a mission for us, and thank you all for joining. Thank you for starting to make the change and living a healthier lifestyle so that you can fulfill your purposes and help the people, your loved ones and other people around.
Thank you so much, Dr. C, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I would also
I have a
like to.
question.
Oh, pardon.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I have a question. This is Charlotte. My question is sunflower oil. What is your take on that? And also, I'm going to try to be more consistent with my time of eating.
Okay, I think I talked to you, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm great. I got that water filter picture.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Good deal. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it. Sunflower oil, it's just like anything else. You have to use it in increments. I don't recommend that you use it every day. An everyday oil for salad dressings or sauteing vegetables or pan-searing meat, I would say use olive oil and a grapeseed oil. And if you're frying, use peanut oil, or you can mix. Sometimes
Okay.
I'll mix peanut oil with grapeseed oil because it'll hold the heat. It's I don't do meat, but I understand you all with the fried fish because fried fish was part of my DNA. But I get seafood mushrooms when I want fried fish every now and then, and I will fry it. I season it. It tastes like fish, and I use my yellow meal, and I fry them in peanut oil. It's nice and crunchy, and it tastes like fish, and I'm satisfied. But
Wow.
yeah, fry it yourself, and it's really good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you for
Yes.
being present. Thank you for doing what you need to do for yourselves. I commend you for taking care of your loved ones and other people, because you all are caregivers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you go unnoticed. Do know that I say a prayer for you all every single day because I was a caregiver. And I know that sometimes it can be trying. It can be mind-boggling when you're trying to do what you know to do and do all that you know to do. And it sometimes seems like it's not enough. So hang in there. Do know that you have somebody praying for you and in your corner. Do reach out if you have any questions or need any assistance. And if you guys think about any other topics that you want us to explore, we can work on it, fit it in the schedule and make it happen, because you guys have a lot of work to do and we're here to help you. Right, Jenny?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I'm typing your email address in the chat right now. And for those of you who have not done so, please type your email address in there as well, so I can send you the post survey, because this is an education stipend opportunity training. And also so I can pass along the information from Dr. C that she's going to send to me. And so definitely put your email address in the chat. Thank you again, Dr. C. I appreciate it. And I just want to leave you all with this little saying that someone told me years ago, and it's definitely helped me to modify my shopping habits. And that is, food is fuel. Okay.
Yes.
So it's just like you put the right kind of gas in your car, you have to put the right kind of fuel in your bodies. Otherwise, we'll run out of gas, right? We'll crash and burn. We'll be on the side of the road, have somebody come get us, right?
Right.
And also another way to get on the train of eating more produce, that is literally energy from the sun. So you're eating sunshine when you eat fruits and vegetables. And I always like to add as much whimsy into my life as possible. So that's my little 2 cents there. Eat your sunshine, and get your rest, drink your water.
Yes, yes, great advice. Yes, it
Yes.
really works. Yeah.
All right,
I think it's the
everyone.
vegetables, yeah, they help me to stay on 10 because I have this energy all the time for the new people who haven't been around me. It's a way of life and it really works.
Yes, Dr.
You all
Angela is
enjoy your
well
day.
fueled.
Yes.
All right,
Enjoy
everyone.
your
Thank you
day.
so much for joining. We
Yes.
do have a presentation coming up next week on hallucinations, paranoia, and delusions as it pertains to a dementia diagnosis. So I'm looking forward to sharing that information with you all. If you haven't registered, you can please do so on our website. Thank you again, Dr. Angela, and I hope all of you stay dry and warm this weekend, and
Yes.
we'll see you all next week, all right?
Have a great day.
All right, you all as well. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.